welcome back to Weeby Kids Yoga. I'm Annie and I'm going to be guiding your session. Today we are going to be taking a general look at our beautiful feathered friends, the birds. And as ever, if this is your first time with us, be sure to check out our Introduction to Yoga with Weeby Kids so you know what it's all about. And otherwise, ensure that you have plenty of space to move around in, that you're wearing clothes that you are happy to move about in, and we have one ask here, that you practice throughout with kindness to yourself. The reason for this is that I'm not in your room and I don't know how you're feeling today. So please be mindful, notice how you're feeling and look after yourself throughout. We begin our session today, as we always do, with our hands in prayer position, anjali mudra by the heart, sitting in a comfortable position, nice and straight and tall in the spine, shoulders back and down. We begin with a greeting, Namaste, which is simply a greeting from my heart to your hearts all the way around the world, and from your hearts all the way around the world, back to mine. After 3, 1, 2, 3, Namaste. We're going to begin today with a quick warm-up of our body. We're going to begin by marching on the spot. Opposite arm to leg as we move. Move to the side so you can see there. Beautiful. And now we're just going to start kicking our leg out in front instead of lifting the knee. So kick, 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 kick. Opposite arm to leg. So we can put our hand out in front. If you can touch your toes, that's lovely. If you can't, don't worry. If you can just pat on your leg, wherever feels comfortable for you, or the knee, that's okay too. And we're just going to swap our arms so that we begin using the same arm and the same leg. That's the one. Okay, and again, if that's lower down the leg, onto the thigh to make that comfortable and doable for you, that's all well and good. Lovely, now we're going to swap again. So we're going to use a little bit of brain gymnastics here, swapping the arms across. Back to hands on knees, opposite hands. There we go, you can see what I'm doing from the front. This is it, marching up and down. And we're just introducing a little bit of a twist into our upper body. And bringing those legs to a stop, we're just going to continue with that twist in the upper body and just spin our hands around a little bit faster as we warm up the spine ever so gently. Taking your head around with you, you'll notice your eyes catching on different things around the space that you're in. There we go, slowing. Bringing ourselves back. If you're at all dizzy, close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Sigh it out. Back to the room. Bring our feet together. We're now going to rock backwards and forwards onto the balls of our toes and onto the heels. So we're rocking. And as we do that, we're just going to rock our arms to help bring some momentum into that movement. There we go. And we're just going to start swinging the arms to either side and moving our hips out. That's the one. So just bending the knees into a different position on the sides. And then we're going to move up and we're just going to start walking now. And we're just going up onto the balls of the toes to do that. And we are just swinging the hip as we do that. Maybe this is our catwalk. Walk, do the arms. Okay, and then we're just going to move those hips round in some little circles and then go the other direction. And we're now going to lift up and out of those hips, standing nice and straight and tall. Rolling our shoulders back and bringing them forwards. Somehow I always find this one a little bit more difficult as an action. There we go, and we're going to drop the head to one side and then rolling it forward, chin to chest, rolling it back up so we have the other ear to the other shoulder, lifting up centrally, tipping our head back gently to look at the ceiling, raising the eyes if that's comfortable, and back to centre, dropping the ear as we did before, rolling it down so we've got chin to the chest, rolling up on the other side, ear to the shoulder, on the other side, lifting the head to the centre and gently raising our eyes up to the ceiling with our head as we tilt back and back to centre. Hopefully that's warmed you up a little bit in preparation for some of our moves. We're now going to begin thinking about our feet and spreading our toes out nice and wide at our base. And obviously for a bird, these are like our talons. So we're going to begin standing straight and tall, rolling our shoulders back and down the spine. I love myself, says the robin redbreast. Standing up nice and straight, we're going to take a little bit of a breath in and sigh it back out. And then we're just going to take a moment to listen to our own breathing. Is it fast? Is it slow? How are you feeling? Hello. Now then, today's session is based largely around birds. And I always think that birds belong in the sky. Placing our hands in Anjali mudra, we're going to lift our arms up and greet the sky. As we do so, we are going to gently lean back, standing ourselves back up, lowering our arms down gently, because our birds not only benefit from the skies as they soar through them, and twisting on your sides ever so gently, they also benefit from the earth. Bending your knees if that's more comfortable to do so it's not too much strain on the back of the leg. Placing the tips of those wings down in front of you, bending those knees and lowering your head. Now our birds are able to eat nuts and seeds and berries. Bending those knees right down, slowly rolling our spine back up to a standing position. And we will often see our birds perched on trees. Rising up onto the balls of one of your feet, turning your foot out to the side, you're going to raise that knee and that foot. So you're lifting and placing the foot just below the knee on the other side. You're then going to raise your arms out to the side, bend at the elbow, spread those fingers to make a beautiful tree. And lowering those arms and lowering that leg. Now our birds frequently wake, usually about an hour before the dawn, greeting the sun. Bring our hands into Anjali mudra as we greet the sun and the dawn. Not every day has sunshine. Many may wish it did. Lowering ourselves down again, folding at our hips with our wings wide. And as we sweep and swoop through the sky, we come again to reaching the ground. Now many of our birds also, like us, will go to bed when the night comes. And many of those birds, bending your knees and rolling yourself back up, will actually nest themselves high up in buildings or on treetops. Going again this time onto the other balls of the foot on the other side, turning the foot out, lifting that knee and that foot and placing it just below the knee. Lifting your arms out to the side, bending at the elbows, taking the hands wide. As we see our birds nesting in the beautiful trees and buildings around us. Lowering those arms down now and lowering the foot. I'm going to turn to the side now so that you can see what happens. Now, not all of our birds are actually diurnal, like us, where they wake in the morning and they sleep in their nests at night. Some birds are actually more nocturnal. Taking a step back now with one of your feet, you're taking yourself into a deep lunge position. You're just then going to lower your knee and if needed, inch the front knee forwards and the front foot so that we have a nice angle of 90 degrees as we lower our back foot flat onto the ground. So we're going to become the moon. We're going to sweep our arms forward, up in front of us, and we're going to stretch back to make a beautiful arc of a moon behind us. Now, if that's a little bit too much for you, you can always support your back with your hands or see what feels most comfortable to you. And then our owls leaning ourselves forward with our wings out at the side. Our owls fly through the night. Bring your tummy down onto your front knee as though you're balancing your way through the night. And you're just going to place down that arm that's opposite your knee and twist your body and look up at the sky. There we go. As we create a beautiful twist. Perhaps this is our owl sweeping through trees. Placing down now that other arm and lifting the front as we twist in the opposite direction. And bring ourselves back to that middle swooping stance. Pushing back or from the front leg. Tucking the back toes under. Lifting to the lunge and stepping back up into a nice tall standing position. And we do it all again on the other side. We're going to step back with our other leg into a nice deep lunge, lower ourselves down, inch forward with those knees and the toes at the front if needed, lower the back foot flat. As we can see, we've got a nice, strong 90-degree line here at the front. And we can stretch up now in with our arms facing forward, leaning back to create that beautiful arch with the back, opening the upper spine. And if it's more comfortable, you can do this, of course, with your hands leaning back, whatever is best for you. Taking now our opposite hand down to our foot, we're just going to turn and twist our spine. There we go. And with our body making contact with our knee there, the other side, lifting and looking up at the sky. Bringing our wings down to touch, pushing back from the front leg, lifting onto the back into a deep lunge there, and lifting forward into standing position as we roll ourselves up comfortably. Now, one of our beautiful nocturnal birds here in the UK is, of course, the barn owl. And you may have noticed how they often seem to have eyes in the back of their head. Bring yourself down to a nice kneeling position and then rise up onto your knees. Putting your hands in front of your eyes like a pair of goggles, you can have your wings at the side. Lifting them out at the side, we're just going to turn our bodies as far around as we can in a twist, keeping our elbows out at the side. So keeping them nice and wide. There we go. And now we're going to lift our eyes and place them on the back of our heads. So this time we're opening across the front of the chest a little bit more. And we're going to do the same again as we turn. And back to the front. And turn and back to the front. And this time our owl really does have eyes in the back of its head. The other structure that seems to be familiar to all of our birds are the wings, as they lift them up and down, as they fly through the sky. As they do so, there seems to be a motion of leaning back and forwards that runs through the body. I'll move to the side so you can see this happening. And you can do it with your own spine, forwards and back, and forwards and back. And it may appear at times that it is this that propels our birds forward, this motion of the spine, lowering your wings now. And our owls have this amazing ability to spot prey with their wings wide and dive, closing your wings behind you. Lower yourself down so your bottom touches onto your heels, and then you're aiming once more to bring your forehead to the ground in front of you. Did you catch your prey? Opening your arms, loosening them, bringing them back. Coming up, tuck your toes under and bring yourself into a squat. Now, if that needs to be high on the toes, that's actually not so dissimilar to our owls as they take off, as they jump and use their legs to propel and push themselves off their landing posts. And if you're able, you can also lower your heels. This may require you to bring your balance forward and then see if you can close those arms behind you. It's quite difficult. There we go. Coming back round. Back on your knees. Now, even though all of our feathered friends do indeed have wings, not all of them are actually able to fly. The ostrich, the emu, they are not able to fly despite the fact that they have some wings, because their wings are so small in comparison to the size of their bodies and their weight. They aren't actually able to fly. Bringing ourselves up to a standing position. We're going to become just like one of those emus. We're going to place the weight down through one leg and raise the other. This time we're going to pick it up to the front, bend the other knee if needed, grab hold of our ankle as we pull it slowly back. Now, if you can keep your heel to your bottom, all good. If there needs to be a bit of space, that's okay too. As we aim to drop our knee down towards the ground. And then we're going to raise our arm on the other side and then drop the hand at the front like our big emu head. If you want to use your hand, you can also use your thumb rather. You can create a little beaky at the front there, just to be like our emus. Then lower the arm and drop your foot. And if we turn, we can do it on the other side all over again. So planting the weight through your foot on the opposite side this time, you're going to lift your knee up to the front, pull it back slightly, bend the knee if needed to be on the other side in order to grab hold of your ankle. And as you pull your knee back, your knee is going to be aiming down towards the ground if possible. If you're able to put your heel there, right up against your bottom, wonderful. It provides you with a nice stretch down the front of your quads, but if not, don't worry. If it's further away, that's just as good. There we go. Do the best that you're able. Then raise your arm on the other side and create your head at the top with your hand, and you can create a little beak if you would like to. And once you're finished, lowering the arm, pulling our leg back round and down to plant our feet. Now, bringing ourselves down into a cross-legged position. All of our bird friends, indeed just like us, need to be able to eat in order to survive. Stretching your arms out nice and wide and crossing them over so you're touching your hands to your shoulders on both sides, which brings your elbows together in the middle. You're going to lift your head back and open wide for the food. There we go. And open wide for some food. And if you need to, lean gently back, tip your head up to the ceiling as you stretch those arms wide to get that food down your throat. Opening your arms nice and wide. This time cross over with the other arm on top, placing your hands to the shoulders, meeting the elbows in the middle. Open wide and close. Open wide for more food and close. And leaning back ever so slightly, tipping your head up towards the ceiling as you open wide and stretch, as wide as you can, and close. And open the arms and bring them back down. Now, some of our birds actually like to land on water and in fact need the water to be able to provide them with some of their food sources. The duck. Now, I've seen many a duck with its tail popping up. Coming around onto all fours. We're going to tuck our toes under at the back and pop our bottoms up into the air like an upside down V. Here we go. And we're going to pop our tails up into the air. And the aim today is that we straighten our spine. So if that means bending those knees to do so, that's the other option for you. And straightening, bending and straightening, and bending and straightening. Now, our birds are also well known for needing to dive in to get some food. So we're going to take our weight over the front, moving our arms forward into a strong plank position as they dive into the water. And we're going to lower ourselves, knees And then take our chest and chin down and then straighten ourselves out flat to the mat, taking your legs slightly apart at the back and reaching your arms out in front of you. We're now going to lift those legs and lift those arms as it swims through the water, down, lifting up and down and up and down as it uses the movement to do its best to get that food for dinner. Rolling yourselves over onto your spine. You're going to pull those knees in towards your chest and just rock the spine gently as you bring yourself back up to a seated position. If you'd like to grab a cushion or a blanket or something to keep you warm while we lie down for a few moments, please do so now. Otherwise, taking yourselves down into a comfortable lying position, be that on your back or your front, placing your hands on your belly to the sides and making yourself comfortable. If it feels okay, you can close your eyes or you can leave them open. The choice is yours. We begin by taking a deep breath in through our noses and sighing out through our mouths. Once again, in through the noses and out. Breathing in and sighing out. We think about all the beautiful birds that we know from our everyday life. All of them have beautiful feathers, beautiful wings, and an ability to inspire when we see them flying and soaring high up in the sky. Imagine that you too are a bird. Take a moment to imagine your favourite bird, or perhaps one that you've seen and like the look of. Imagine that you have some beautiful feathered wings and that you are able to fly high up into the sky. What kind of day is it? Can you feel the wind in your face? Are you able to see the beautiful views around you? Perhaps you can fly above your house and see the area in which you live. And as you fly, you slowly begin to tire and decide that it's time to come back to your body and release your inner bird. Take a moment now to feel yourself back where it is that you are in your room with the surface beneath you. And thank your inner bird as you let them fly away. And know that if you want to wear its wings at any time, that you can call your inner bird and it can take you out on a journey. Bring your attention now to your breathing and notice as the rise and fall of your belly occurs, how the air feels in the back of your throat. And now wriggling your fingers and your toes as we bring ourselves back into our bodies. Open your eyes if they've been closed and bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. I hope you've enjoyed our session today as we've explored the world of the birds. Have a look on our website and you will find that there are other activities linked and related to birds that you can also explore. And until next time, take care of yourselves and we hope to see you again soon. Bye!